And if you can't tell, again, I have not done a workshop all of 2023. I think I should also highlight this as a piece of like what has worked well for 2023. I used to do a lot of workshops, probably every other week, probably every week in 2022. I used to do sessions like these on Zoom. We have a Facebook group with like 6,000 people over there. I used to do sessions every week in there. And for the entirety of 2023, probably since November of 2022, I have not done a session like this, which I got to shake off the dust on these webinar settings and things, but I haven't done a session like this. But I have done a lot of other things, and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about that today because if anybody knows, I mean, you guys are business owners and in this economy as much as I am, but if anybody has been feeling it and knows, right now, especially has been a very, very, very interesting time when it comes to profits, right, in business. Has anyone had any, I don't want to like say struggles with profits, but any concerns with profitability in their business, right? I think, and this is not from a place of fear, right? It's just from a place of truth and what we've been seeing in the market. Consumers are getting a lot more intentional with their dollars and their spending. Business owners are having to spend more on client acquisition or customer acquisition. CPMs are going up. CPMs in layman's terms means the cost for ads, right? So all these things are honestly working against our bottom line, our profit. And so this is why I want to talk a lot about personal brand. Again, if you guys know me or follow me on socials or whatever, you know that I will always talk about the different things that are working, but not only talk about the different things that are working, I will only talk about those things once I have done and tested those things, right? And so a lot of people first heard me and I was talking a lot about ads, right? Please understand, even throughout this conversation, I love ads. I love ads. I don't want anybody to get that twisted. My lifestyle and my livelihood is paid for us and our agency running ads. We still run ads. I still love ads. Ads are probably my favorite things to talk about. But when it comes to ads and the entrepreneurs that we were working with, we were realizing that ads were actually almost ruining their businesses, right? Because of how costly they were, because again of the rising CPMs and things like this. And so then you start hearing me talk a lot about content, a lot about content. Why was I talking about content? Because as we got to be better content creators, our ad costs actually started going down. And so I was like, okay, let's help people like make content because content will lead to lower CPMs, lower costs for the ads, and higher profitability. Then what we started seeing in 2022, and I'll show you guys some numbers here in a second, what we started seeing in 2022 was not only can content lower ads, people really should be, especially business owners, really should be focused on building up brand organically. Because what we started seeing for our clients and for ourselves was that no matter how good the content was on the ads, there was still this margin, right? This smaller profit margin compared to other brands that we were working with that had strong brand, that had strong organic presence, right? And so then before I said anything about that, I said to my team, all right, this year we're going to focus a lot on brand. We're going to focus solely on brand. We're not even going to do any ads so that we can put ourselves in the position and then win or lose, see what happens, and then make some steps and be able to have sessions like this. So we're officially a year into spending $0 on ads and just focusing on building brand. In 2024, we will probably start some ads towards the later half of 2024. We're not pressed to do it. I thought I would be running to turn back on ads, but from this conversation today, you'll see why I'm not. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm super excited. I see you guys in this Q&A. I also love y'all. Like, I love the flexibility that we're able to have today, y'all. And this will also be recorded, so you'll have this. Obviously, take some notes, but I hope you're just able to like be super, super present and stay with me and ask me questions. And then maybe as a recording, you go back through this and really take some intentional notes. Again, if you know me, you know, like I just like to spew out a lot of different things. A lot of different things might not even be on these slides. So feel free to just tune in here, write a little bit of notes, and maybe watch the recording and take more detailed notes. But please be present as much as possible because I don't want you to miss anything. All right, let's go into it. $1 million for my personal brand, a story on what I did so you can do it too. Disclaimers on what this conversation will not be. This will not be some like sales pitch webinar thing. I don't do those. If anybody has even heard me talk about the hub or anything like that, like you guys know how I roll. I really like to give value and lead with value. If we transform some lives, if we help some people, obviously there's more ways to work with us. We are actually opening the hub, and because let me just do something right now. I was gonna wait to the end to do this, but because we had so many technical errors, I'm gonna just give y'all this right now. The hub is open. Let's see how I can give you guys this. I think I can actually chat. Let me know if you guys can see my chat. The hub is actually open to 10 people. I'll tell you guys more about what the hub is. Probably most of y'all came from my social, so you've probably heard about the hub. But the hub is open to 10 people. It's the last opening we'll do this year at this price. I'll get more into that. But if you want to join, if you know you want to join the hub, you are not able to really find that link anywhere else. It is an invite only thing, or you can be invited by somebody already in the hub. But if you want to join the hub, it is there. Can you guys see my chat when I chat? All in the everyone chat. I'm just waiting for somebody to say yes or no. No. All right, cool. Shannon, can you drop this link? Or Rachel, can you drop this link in the Q&A so that everyone can get it? And then we're gonna get into it again. All right, cool. So they will drop that link in the Q&A chat so you guys can see that. Again, if you want to join the hub, feel free. And let's get into it. Let me get back into the live. So again, what this is not is some like live webinar sales pitch or anything. This isn't a time for me to even tell you exactly what I've been doing is going to exactly work for you. What this is just honestly a reflection time for me to reflect on what's been going on in our company, what we've been doing over 2023, and just share with you guys everything that we've done, right? Everything that we've done, mostly for myself and our brand. And I say we because there is an entire team behind all the efforts here, and I'll talk to you guys about that. But this is a reflection time to just tell you guys exactly what we've done. Now, Casey, why would you do that? Because, and if you have never heard me say this, I live and stand on this. I believe there's enough out there for us to all win, right? There's enough out there for us to all win. And anything that I experience is actually mine to just give back and share, right? And so that's what we're gonna do. Also, I'm making a small mini course. That sounds redundant, but I'm making a mini course for our hub students. I'm also making a guide, and I even told them I'm going to do this session on Saturday just to see what other questions people have, so I can make this course and guide that I'm making for our hub family as valuable as possible. So this is kind of like a practice run. I just want to see how I go through this and what questions y'all have, so I can make the materials that I'm making for our hub family more impactful. So this is what this is. Stay in here. If you're used to like sales pitches and webinars and stuff like that is not this. Think of this as like a college lecture. This also might not be tangible to like beginners. Like if you haven't been posting, if you haven't been building a brand, if you don't have a business, this is probably not that tangible and accessible to you. I will be just speaking from experience. I always will jumbo shrimp. I always will break things down. So if y'all have a question like, hey, see, what does that acronym mean? What does this mean? Just ask me here in the Q&A. I got you guys. But this will not be just some beginner basic type of thing. Again, it's a reflection about our year and just telling you guys about everything that we've done so that I can make these hub materials a lot more valuable to our hub fam. All right, hub fam. Is there any hub fam in here? Any hub members in here? Let's see. Any hub fam in here? I think I saw some of y'all, but let me know if y'all are in here. This guide in this course I'm about to make for y'all is gonna go crazy. Boom. Like I just said that. All right, so here's our agenda. I'm gonna actually shorten this to about 45 minutes. I'm not gonna cut out any value. I'm just gonna talk a little bit quicker because I want to be conscious of everybody's time. I'll give you guys a brief introduction. Again, most of y'all came from my socials and stuff, so a lot of you all know me, and I will tell you why that is important here in a second. I'm going to talk a little bit about like why brand matters. We're going to break down some people like Keith Lee. Has anybody heard of Keith Lee? Tabitha Brown, The Rock, right? We're going to break down some of those brands and what they've been doing so we can put those things in action. I'm going to break down everything that I did wrong in 2022. and everything that we did in 2023. So you can just follow those guides and implement those things into your own life, into your own business. I'm going to talk specifically also about how we grew a client from 0 to 300,000 followers. If you guys know me, I don't talk a lot about the people we work with. We work with a lot of cool people. But this client likes, like, I want you to say she likes for me to talk about her, but we've just been having a lot of fun with her. I think a lot of people have seen her, and there's a lot of unique things that we're doing with her because we are actually controlling like everything. So we get to control a lot of her things. She doesn't like have a team or anything. And so I talk a lot about this client as well. Again, I like to just talk about myself and the things that I've done, because how I like to teach and lead is by example. I teach and lead only from experience. And so that's mostly what you'll ever hear me talk about. Then I will also share with you guys my plan for 2024, how we're changing some different things, the things I'll be focused on and what you should be focused on, because as we know with social media, especially, this stuff changes every day. So we're going to talk about that. Sound good, everybody? This agenda sound good? I'm excited. I'm excited to get into it. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties earlier this morning, but now we are about to get into it. I'm excited. I also got my Christmas cup. Got my Christmas cup. We're in the holiday cheer. Let's go. I will leave some time for questions at the end. So if you do have some questions, especially now because the chat is moving, once I say like any questions, just pop in your questions. But if you're anything like me and your brain moves, I definitely have some sort of like ADHD or something. I always have a paper next to me. So please write down your questions as they come up. So then as soon as I say anything for questions, you can just pop them in there. Or better yet, write them on your computer so you can just copy, paste, pop them in there. Cool. I don't want you to forget your questions because selfishly, I want questions so I can keep making this material better to help our clients. All right, let's get into it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, the last thing I will say, if you guys hear something that you resonate with, or you're like, ooh, that's a gem, please put in bars. Again, we got the Q&A going now. I feel good. I'm seeing the interaction. It fuels me selfishly. So if you hear something, you see something you like, just put in the chat. Sometimes people do ones or whatever. I like bars. Maybe some of you guys know why. But put in bars whenever you hear something that resonates. Let's get into it. So who am I? If you don't know, I won't do the long spiel, but I was once this 5-year-old kid with a Coogee sweater from Detroit, Michigan. I'm a proud Detroiter, but I've always been entrepreneurial. I was a really smart kid in high school, and I figured that my way out and really my way to help my mom, who is a single mom, was through education. And so I went on this huge prowl to be the best student that I could. Honestly, I tell everybody I don't talk a lot about school because school was very easy to me. So I don't talk a lot about it, but I was a smart kid. School was very easy, and that afforded me into some cool institutions. It afforded me a cool scholarship from Bill Gates. It afforded me then into some cool corporate jobs at Accenture Strategy, Goldman Sachs, and a tech company, maybe some of y'all heard of, Stripe. At all of those companies, I was working with companies to help them grow. And how we were helping them grow was through social media, through content, through ads. And so one day I woke up like, hey, the work that I'm doing is cool. I love the clients that I work with, especially at Stripe, right? I got to work with startups and I was just like really helping them with ads and all these things. And I was like, well, why don't I just like open up my own agency and do it with people that or I should say it like this, that sit in and identify with and support the communities that I support, right? I was doing with a lot of corporations that had billions of dollars, or they had all this money or raised all this capital. And I wanted to get back to the basics and help the people that I know are going to continue helping and serving and pouring into the communities that I love to pour into. So in 2021, we opened our agency, and it's just blossomed in a lot of different ways since then. But that's a little bit about who I am. I don't talk a lot about that. If you have questions about who I am, I don't know, ask somebody that maybe that works with me. I don't like to talk about myself a lot, something I probably need to heal. But let's get into business. Now let's get into the stuff I do need to talk about. If you don't take anything from this session, I need you to remember this, because again, I'm about to get deep. This might sound like a college course. You might have to pay attention really hard. And so the one thing that I want you to remember before I lose anybody, right? This is the thing I need you to take away. Attention is the new currency. Anybody know this guy named Alex Hormozy? Alex Hormozy says, this, which I resonate with a ton. And I heard him say it just on an interview. Gary Vee has also said something similar. They say something similar along the lines of, 100 years ago, to make real money, real money, you had to be in the oil business, right? The Rockefellers, like, to make real wealth. Now it is the game of attention to make real wealth, right? Like, this is not, we're not saying small ball. We're not just saying like, oh, you can, make a little few extra dollars if you get on social media. No, like, the gateway to building real wealth and real power and real access is through having attention, right? Through having attention. Boom, my camera just went off, but we transitioned really cool to the laptop camera. So attention is the new currency, y'all. Please understand that. We are going to break down some brands like Tabitha Brown, Keith Lee, The Rock, Kylie Jenner. Understand that attention is the new currency. Whether you're building a business, whether you're building a brand, I believe that 60% of your time, at least, should be spent on how can I acquire more attention? Because it's not the best service provider that wins this game. It's not the best product that wins this game. It's not the cutest person that wins this game. It's not the smartest person that wins this game. The person that wins the game and then can go on to do all the things that you want to do in this life is the person, product, or service with the most attention. And so I need all of us to be playing the attention game, right? The attention game. I know a lot of y'all like to focus on ops and other things, not to say those things aren't important, but the number one focus should be attention. And so I'm about to get into all of this. Again, if you miss anything, or if you say, Casey, man, like, I don't get anything, I need you just to remember this. Attention is the new currency. Attention is the new currency. Cool. In 2021, I saw a big shift coming, though, right? I told you guys I opened my agency. As soon as we opened the agency, I probably, low-key, when we opened the agency, I felt like I did just 20 minutes ago. It was like everything was going wrong as soon as I quit my full-time job and opened this agency. Literally within 2 weeks of opening the agency, and again, I hadn't saved up much money. I just started this job. iOS 14.5 came out. I am a Facebook ads agency. If you guys don't know what iOS 14.5 is, I won't bore you with all the details, but it changed the game for Facebook ads, right? And I had just launched a Facebook ads agency, changed the game. Also, because of different things that happened in 2020, all these talks about recession, all these talks about marketing spends being pulled back, all these things were happening, right? And so instead of getting freaked out and being like, oh my gosh, right? I needed to find a solution. Just as I was trying to do this morning with the chat and everything else, like, let's find a solution. And so as I was sitting and thinking and contemplating and reflecting around, okay, all these things are changing. What do I think is going to change? As I said earlier, I started predicting, hey, content is going to take over. Marketing's not going to end. People aren't going to stop buying. But they're probably going to be more attentive with where they spend their dollars. And we need to start making better ads. I predicted that our market would go from more of a direct response marketing situation. If you don't know what direct response marketing is, look it up when you leave here. But I predicted that we would start going from that to more like traditional marketing, right? Like TV ads, different things that have been working, that we had to get more intentional with creative. I'll show you how all my predictions played out. But because of this, we started to shift our focus a lot, like I mentioned earlier, to creative with our clients and ourselves, right? And starting to build up brand with our creatives or with our clients, right? We started diversifying our businesses. We were spending or acquiring 100% of our clients through Facebook. And so we started diversifying. I started making content around 2021, going into 2022, right? And so we started to diversify. We launched new profit centers within our business, and we started helping our clients do the same. Please understand, and why I will always talk about our clients really influence even our business, is because if our clients go out of business, we go out of business. So it is in my best interest to figure out something to save us all, right? And so that's why I do the things that I do. That's why I get in the fields that I have to get in, because I have to save our clients and I have to save myself, right? And so within 2022, I had this hunch around October 2022. I said, brand is going to be the way, and we need to get our clients focused on brand. By this point, we had got them focused on making better content. A lot of our clients were on TikTok. I was getting a lot more heavy on TikTok at the time. And so when they see me doing something and they see the results from it, they're more apt to do it. And so I told our team, brand is going to be the way. Like, we have to help our clients make a brand. because by 2025, 2026, 2027, like even going viral on TikTok is going to be a lot harder, right? It's still open field today. So if you're not on TikTok, get on there. But going viral on TikTok is going to be so much harder than it is now than it will be in 2027. And so how do we set our clients up for success in the long game? And my prediction is brand. I will tell you guys why I believe that I am correct here, what we've seen already. But my prediction is brand. It's not going to be the best ads. It's not going to be the things that go viral. It's going to be the people with the strongest brand, with the most attention that can win in 2027, 2028, 2029, and onward, right? And so again, I said, well, to get the clients really bought into this, we have to do it. And this was one of the riskiest decisions I've ever made, because I just told you that 100% of our client acquisition was through paid ads. And I looked at my team, I looked at Shannon, I looked at everybody else, and I said, today in October, we're going to cut everything off and we're going to do a whole year of no ads, a whole year with no ads, because I wanted to lead by example. I wanted to be able to sit here with you now a year and some change later to have this conversation and either tell you why I failed or what worked. I don't care if I failed. I actually love failing because now I can tell you what not to do, right? And so it wasn't about winning, which will, some people might say we won, some people it's perspective, right? It was like, hey, let's do this because we have to teach people what to do and what not to do. So I know I've been saying it's been a year since we haven't run ads, but it's been since October 2022. We also pivoted a portion of our business in that same month to introduce the hub. We did not have the hub at this time. And the reason that we launched the hub, two reasons. Selfishly, I love to serve. I love to do things like this. And I love to do it with small groups of people that I know are going to take action, right? And so I selfishly wanted to launch the hub. And then two, we wanted to prove and have a case study to say, and this is what you can do with a product, an info product. We ran no ads to this. We only got these people through content, stuff like that, right? And so we needed some sort of product to show that, because a lot of people would say to us, I knew the pushback would be, well, Casey, you work with a lot of like large brands in your agency. So if you just acquired one client, of course you had these numbers, right? And so we needed to launch a new product that has a low ticket. I think we started the hub at like $40 or something. It now is increased, and I'll tell you, or it's really, honestly, the value has increased because of the team. We have really great team members over there, and so we have to keep increasing the price because that team in the hub, they deserve raises, they deserve bonuses, and we need to hire even more people. And so we serve a lot in the hub. I don't personally make any money from the hub. The hub is not a profit center. It is a pure play to give and serve at the highest level, and also put great team members that like to serve in those positions and pay them well. So we launched the hub, a low ticket info product. We ran no ads to it. We've grown the hub to around 150 members, again, with no ads, all through content. I don't even like really talk about it. If I talked about it a lot more, we would have even a lot more people in there. I make like one post a month about the hub, if that. And we've grown it to almost $150,000 since October of 2022, right? Again, the product is around $100 on average. We've increased the price now 4 or 5 times, but $150,000, all organic, all from probably in max probably I've made 30 posts about the hub, right? This is one of the main posts that I have every month. Nowadays, over the past 6 months, I'll just update this post when I feel led to do this, right? Again, don't follow everything that I do, right? I don't make any money from this. There's a ton of different ways that if I was in somebody else's shoes that I needed to make money from this, that this would easily be a huge profit center, right? But again, I do this because I selfishly love to serve, and because I want to be able to show you guys that it is possible to grow a brand and then turn that brand into money, right? Through a product. We're also launching a physical product. So by this time next year, I'll tell you guys what the physical product does. We're growing that all organically. But I know a lot of you guys have info products and stuff like that. So I always want to pull back the curtains and share those numbers. I know a lot of people don't share numbers like that, but that is that. Excuse me. And this is what also has been happening in the hub. Again, we've been telling them everything that we do as we go through this journey. I just interviewed Royce the other day. She gained 20,000 followers in 3 months. Biz, who started in the hub, just hit his $1 million in sales. And I just screenshotted these all this morning. So this is just this a couple within the past couple of days. So people are winning over there in the hub as we share different things with them. But we've also been working with our clients. So within our agencies, we're also doing the same things and building brand, right? Building brand with these folks. We've amassed 50 million views this year, 1,000 videos that we post every month. We've increased our clients' profits on average of 13%. And our clients that are running ads to their products, we've lowered their CPMs and CPLs. It ranges by how they've done that. So I didn't want to put the average there because it might be skewed. But for one client in particular, we've decreased their CPMs and CPLs, cost per leads, by 230%, all through content and all through building their brand, right? So two things working together, the organic working with the ads, lowering everything in the ecosystem. Does that make sense? I want to see some chats. So we've been able to do some cool things with our own brands, building up the hub, building up our agency. We've been able to do some cool things with our clients, helping them gain a brand, then keeping more money in their pockets, right? Cool. Awesome. Also, some of you guys are privately chatting me, and I don't know how that's working, but that's cool too. So how do we do all this, right? Through content. This is what has happened for me personally since doubling down on content. And I'm going to also be honest with you guys towards the end of this and tell you how I feel like I've actually lacked this year when it comes to content. But because I've been doubling down on being intentional, on building the personal brand, on building an audience and things like that, this year I was named Forbes 30 under 30. We've been able to amass a great, let me actually talk about the Forbes thing. I was about to skip it because, again, I don't love just talking about myself, but the Forbes 30 under 30 thing has been a cool thing from a branding perspective, right? I don't care too much about it, but it's been a cool thing from a branding perspective. We saw an increase in clients and different things because a lot of external people care about it, so it's cool. So that was a cool thing from that, but I was nominated because of my content. Like, it was because of my content and because of people I met through content and through talking that I was nominated even for that, which has been a cool thing for the brand. I'll talk about this number here in a second. I went in to our financials and screenshotted that this morning, so I'll tell you what that number is. But this screenshot is a picture from yesterday. Yesterday, we had a virtual team company party, and you might say to me, Casey, what does your team have to do with content? But I tell especially business owners, yes, content makes us money, and we'll keep talking about the money that we've made and clients that we've made and all this stuff. But the number one reason I love content and I love building a brand is because I get to attract great team members, right? People DM me all the time. And I don't say this on some high horse, right? People literally DM me every day asking to work with me, I've gotten resumes from folks that are in huge tech companies, that are VPs of different service lines and stuff at huge tech companies, college people that are looking to just intern for free to get exposure and get experience. And so I tell everybody too, like, yes, we will talk a lot, and I'm guilty of this, talk a lot about content from what you can do perspective, a selfish business perspective. But the number one thing content has really done for me is allow me to attract people into our company, great people into our company, just because they see all the cool things that we're doing. They view me as a person that knows what they're talking about, that's hustling, right? And they want to work under me, with me, beside me in this team that we're building. And so that's why I need to screenshot that as well. Please remember that as you make content and build a brand, you are also attracting great team. And the team can help exponentially grow your business, right? This team, yes, content has helped, but the team helps me serve tremendously. And I've been able to build this team and retain the team because of my personal brand and because of content. So that's that. That's the non-sexy part that nobody likes to hear, but it's the part that I love. But the sexy part that a lot of people like to hear, right? In 2022, our revenue is at 1.09 something, round up to 1.1. Again, we spent $0 on ads this year, and our revenue will be around, we haven't finished the month, but our revenue will probably end around 1.5 million. With some contracts and some unrealized revenue that could be a lot larger, but I just like to talk about cash in the bank, realized revenue. So this is not contracts or anything that's not cash, right? If we want to talk about non-cash things or sales and long-term contracts, this number is a lot bigger. But from a cash perspective, we'll come in around 1.4 million, right, this year. Again, this is with $0 spent on ads. $0 spent on ads. 1.1 million in last year, 1.4 million this year with $0 spent on ads. Like what an attractive like position to be in, right? What an attractive position to be in, to be able to not only just sustain and maintain. I told somebody this, if you're maintaining your business right now, you're winning. But what an attractive position to be in, to actually grow in this economy right now, to actually grow, right? But also to grow while decreasing marketing spend, ad spend. Do y'all feel like even when I'm just saying this out loud, it's like unbelievable that we did this. But those are some things that have happened again since we've doubled down on content. And again, I just took that screenshot this morning, so that's just what that is as of December. Now, if you still don't believe that building a personal brand is worth it, I hope you do. I hope you do. But if you still don't believe that it's worth it, I'm only a small percent of this, right? I don't actually have that many followers, no matter like what a lot of people think. In the grand scheme of followers and impact, like I don't have that many followers, right? But these people do. These are some huge people. Can somebody, I just want to see in the Q&A, I want to see in the Q&A, and Cassandra, I see your question. Is that all new revenue or does it include? So I'm gonna give you that breakdown here, Cassandra, in a second. That's a great question. But Tabitha Brown, I believe she has like 10 million followers or something. I just looked this up, 10 million followers. Keith Lee, if you don't know who that is, Keith Lee this year had a crazy year, 15 million followers across socials. This lady in the red, Sarah Jakes, her event, the big conference that she just had last year, there was 3,000 attendees at that conference. This year, it was 40,000 attendees at the conference. Next year, they're projecting 100,000 attendees at this conference. How did she go from 3,000 to 100,000 people at a conference in 2 years? It's not because her dad is just TD Jakes. Let me just tell you, that's been her daddy, and they've been doing these conferences, right? Content. And let me just talk about Sarah Jakes for a minute, because I think as a parent with Tabitha Brown and Keith Lee, for anybody that knows Sarah Jakes or sees her, just think about how much more content you saw of her this year, or probably from like 2022 through this year, right? How much reels and how the production quality has increased, where they're even placing a lot more of her videos, right? That is very, very, very intentional. But Sarah Jakes specifically, that wig thing. Now, I don't know if the whole wig thing was intentional. I wouldn't be surprised if it was intentional, because it was just a couple weeks before that conference. But Sarah Jakes has been everywhere with the content, right? Kylie Jenner and The Rock. I love, though, to talk about people like Tabitha Brown and Keith Lee, because some of you all in your head, you'll give an excuse to Sarah Jakes. Well, her dad, right? Or you'll give an excuse to Kylie Jenner. Oh, her siblings and the parents, right? Or you'll give an excuse to The Rock. Oh, he was already a celebrity. But let's talk about Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown has been making content on social media and building a brand, right? So making content is an act that helps you build a brand. So Tabitha Brown has been intentionally trying to build a brand for 15 years almost. She started as a creator and creating content on a platform called Vine. Does anybody remember what Vine is? Or does anybody know what Vine is? What Vine is? Heather, I also see this question. I want you to remember that and bring it up when I open up questions too. Vine, right? Tabitha Brown was on Vine. Vine was out probably like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe a little over that, right? But she's been creating since Vine. Then she transitioned to Facebook. Then she transitioned to YouTube. And then she transitioned to TikTok. She finally blew up on TikTok, right? But this consistency in this game. So to us, it looks like an overnight success. 4 years ago, nobody knew who Tabitha Brown was. Now she's a household name, right? Apparently also her net worth, I don't care about too much of these things, but to get you guys listening, $10 million this year, $10 million this year, $10 million this year. And if we think about it, if Tabitha Brown launched a sewing kit right now, it would sell out. If Tabitha Brown had a conference right now on business, it would sell out. If Tabitha Brown had a mastermind right now, it would sell out. If Keith Lee launched a book right now, it would sell out. If Keith Lee launched a motorcycle apparel line, it would probably sell out, right? Like these things, the things that they even could launch don't even necessarily have to relate to all the different things that they're now known for, right? But because they have a brand, they can do whatever they want now with that brand. They get brand sponsorships. They go speak at events for huge amounts of dollars. They can launch their own different products, whatever that is. They can team up and now invest, all because of a brand. Do you understand what I said when I started this? The only thing that I needed y'all to remember is that attention is the new currency. Not your, yes, Casey went to Northwestern and Harvard, not that doesn't get me anywhere. What gets me in the doors that I get into is attention, with my little attention, right? That stuff is not the new wealth anymore. Attention is the wealth, is the currency. Tabitha Brown, Keith Lee. I actually just did a video about how Keith Lee is sitting on probably hundreds of millions right now. And if he has people around him, or if he's thinking about it, he can tap into it. But do a lot of y'all even know that Keith Lee is a professional fighter? So imagine if now he has a fight out in Vegas, right? He's been trying to professionally fight for years. Keith Lee is also a Detroiter, so I love him. I love the vibes, right? But he moved out to Vegas to become a fighter, to pursue his fighting dreams. Now, look, he made a brand off of food reviews and stuff. But if Keith Lee has a professional fight right now, that thing is going to sell out. They're going to put it on Showtime with Logan Paul and all the else of these people with attention that are now fighters and boxers, right? Do you guys understand the importance that I'm trying to articulate here? The power of a brand, the power of brand, and then what you can do with it. And so I need you guys, again, this huge process that I've had to even go through is like, how do I think about my brand first? How do I think about building a brand first, and then my business second? Because here's the thing, and I'm actually thinking about this right now. The likelihood of your first, second, third, the likelihood of any business working and you sticking with that for the rest of your life, very, very slim. I somehow went like this, but I think the spirit led me to say 0%. I don't actually know if that's the percent, but the likelihood of you sticking with the business that you have now, whatever that is, for the rest of your life, and that being the business that you have, is very, 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 very slim. The likelihood of you being able to snowball this brand that you can build and stick with it and have it for the rest of your life, the potential of that is huge. Tabitha Brown now at, let's say 40, I don't know her age, but we're going to be, conservative. Let's say 40, 45, right? She is going to now have this brand that feeds her, that pours into her for the rest of her life. No matter what she has hair care businesses now, all the restaurants now. If the hair care business closed tomorrow, she has a brand, she can launch something else. If the restaurants closed tomorrow, she has a brand, she can launch something else. Keith Lee will now have this brand for the rest of his life, right? Sarah Jakes. Please understand that the brand and the focus on building brand should be number one, because the brand will feed your business. When your business goes out of business, which again, I'm not speaking from fear, I'm just speaking from fact. If and when your business goes out of business, you have a brand, so you can launch anything, right? As we step into 2024, I don't want it to just solely be number one focus, how do I build my business? I want your number one focus to be, how do I build my brand? And then secondary, I'm pour into my business, or I'm gonna allow my brand to feed my business, right? And even people within your business, you want them to start building brand. If any of y'all have teams, and I've been having this conversation with my team, right? I want everybody in our company building brand, because whether they stay with our company or go with our company, while they're at our company, we have all these people building huge brands that feed into whatever they're doing, right? I also just care about our people that we work with. And so I believe that everybody should build a brand. Y'all still with me? Ooh, I had to scroll down there. Just use the shampoo and conditioner this morning, right? Brand. And I'm going to talk about the hacks too that they have done, but understand again what I said. Tabitha Brown can launch anything that she wants right now. She could literally stand up a business conference and it would sell out. Some folks in this game, and I'm guilty of this, have built their brand, and they may have business conferences or they have business books, but they can't really launch other things outside of that, right? They don't have the brand like Tabitha Brown has. If you have a brand, you can do anything with that brand. If you focus on the business, you're pretty limited. Think about your favorite business coach right now. Could your favorite business coach launch a successful hair care company? Is your favorite business coach at the net worth and level and access and attention that Tabitha Brown has? They may be a lot more knowledgeable in business, but whose conference is going to sell out? Tabitha Brown's or your favorite business coaches? And again, I'm guilty of this as well. I hope we can all call ourselves out, right? Brand. Power of brand. Y'all feel me? her dog Blackie could start literally. Blackie could have a meetup of all the dogs right now, and I would definitely take my dog, right? Personal brand, personal brand. So let's get into exactly what I did in 2023, right? I hope, again, y'all understand the power of this. Y'all understand the portion of this, because before I get into this, the one thing that I do not want anyone to do here, and let me just stop sharing my screen. The one thing that I hate, and the people in the hub will tell you this, is I do not like sitting on here and motivating people. I don't think of myself as a motivational speaker or whatever. I do not like sitting here giving valuable information and then no one taking action, right? Which is why I always just like small groups. I always like small settings, because I don't just want us to be motivated off of this and be like, oh my God, yes, Casey, I see it, Tabitha Brown. And then we go close our computers and off to the next thing, right? Looking for the next hack, looking for the next shiny object. So please, 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 I hope y'all saw how important that is. Now we're about to get into the steps. Now we're about to get into the tactics. I do not want anybody leaving here and just thinking because you consume this information today that, you know, you're all is well. You need to go take action after this. So let's get into it. 2022, here's some stats. I hope you guys know too, I'm not scared about numbers. I don't place my worth on any money or any value. So if you ever have questions about, Casey, what did this cost? How much did this make? Whatever, just ask me, because my worth is not tied to any numbers. So I share all numbers. So I bring that up in case you ever have any numbers. Don't ever feel scared or nervous about asking me when it comes to money or numbers and stuff like that. 2022 stats, the amount that we spent on ads was $439,000. Between us, because it's easier to say for marketing, we'll say 500,000 whenever we're public, but $439,000 on ads. This was across mostly 70%, I believe 75% of this was on Facebook. We really started scaling up on TikTok ads though. So some of this was on TikTok ads, especially later throughout the year. Leads that we acquired. I'm so excited oh my God, I'm so excited to show y'all this. Leads that we acquired in 2022, 1262. This also is probably a larger number from the earlier part of the year, but I'm gonna tell you why I pulled this specific number. But 1262. Excuse me. One-time purchases. Somebody asked me this earlier about, I think it was Cassandra, asked me this earlier about the purchase split. Most of these people that came to us in 2022 bought something one time. If you have questions about what that was, I don't think it matters like what that was, but understand that they were only a customer, or that lifetime value of that customer was a one-time purchase. Bad business plays on my end, but that's what that was. So when we talk about 2023, understand that most of this is new revenue, because there wasn't any like monthly recurring revenue. 17% of it was monthly recurring revenue. Profit margins were at 2%. 2% in 2022. 2% in 2022. Right? This is what that looked like. And so again, in 2022, how I like to operate in entrepreneurship, and I'll be transparent, my salary and anything else is above the bottom line. So 2% was left over after everybody's paid and team and stuff like that. But 2022, I was just sitting like, man, like we're in a tough spot. All right, like we're in a tough spot, we're tight, and I'm about to stop spending on ads. Like I just hope to keep expressing how nervous I was to make this decision. But I knew, again, whether we won or failed at this, that I would have something to teach of value. And everything that I go through in my life, every dollar that I've lost, every dollar that I've gained, I feel like it's for experience. So I get more experience to share more. But that's what 2022 looked like for us. 2023, right? And I know we got a couple days left in 2023. We spent $0 on ads. $0 on ads. That's a surprise, right? I'm sure you guys have heard me say that 28 times now. 750 leads. One-time purchases at 32%. MRR, also let me define that. MRR is monthly recurring revenue. Right? MRR is at 68%, and profit margins went up from 2% to 28%. 2% to 28%. And again, we have a big deal that we're working. If it hits in 2023, that would look way different, but let's just talk about the facts right now. 28%. What do y'all think about that? Like, let me see some in the chat. What do y'all think about that? 2022. 2023, right? Again, all from brand. Now, the one call out that I want to make, let's see if anybody makes it. What a difference, what a difference, what a difference, right? The one call out, I haven't seen anybody say it yet, so let me just say it here really quick because I want to be conscious of y'all's time. The one call out that I was thinking about when I made these slides this morning was this. Look at the second line. Look at leads, right? So I was like, somebody's going to ask me about this, and I'm super excited. 2022, 1,200, let's just round up 1,300 leads. 2023, 800 leads. So how did we grow with less leads and less one-time purchases? Like, how did we do that with less leads? Any thoughts? Any thoughts in there? How did we grow when we got less leads? Because if I were you, right, and I like to always just be very honest with myself, right? I'd be thinking, Casey, I'm calling cap. Like, did you acquire more attention? You said attention is the new currency, but I'm seeing you acquired less leads in 2023, right? I'm seeing you acquired less leads in 2023. So what happened there? I see some of you guys saying this, right? I see some of you guys saying this. A lot more high quality leads. Organic leads, and I will stand on a hill and say this, and I hope you guys can see the story. Organic leads are your highest quality leads. Your highest quality leads. When you gain leads through ads, what do people say? Like 10% conversion rate, 1% conversion rate, 3% conversion rates, right? When you're gaining somebody as a lead organically, somebody doesn't just follow you and then be like, oh, let me sign up for your email list, right? They follow you. They see your content, they start trusting you, so for them to take that action to even like become a lead of yours to give you more information, you have built so much trust and value with that lead that they're now even more willing to give you money to engage with whatever you have to engage with, things like that. Less leads, higher quality. I love to see it, especially for somebody like me where I like to just be around small groups of action takers, right? Less leads, higher quality, and they were all free. They were all free. They were all free. They were all free. And they're great leads, right? Great leads. Hope y'all like seeing these numbers. I was so excited to pull this together for y'all. But those are those 2023 stats. And so now this is my 2023 focus. And give me about 10 minutes to go through this, and then I'll open it up for some questions. But here's the actual tactical part of this. So we did all that, right? Those were our results. And so this is exactly what I did in 2023. The number one thing I want you to write down or just remember, whatever, is I cast a wide net. I cast a wide net. So let me just get a sip of water. Excuse me, guys. No surprise here. Obviously, I posted content like I don't want to be elementary here. But the thing that I want you guys to get about the content that I mostly post is that it's a wide net. Casey, what do you mean by wide net, right? What do you mean by wide net? And this transition actually happened more so in the latter half of 2023. But a wide net means applicable to all, and I put all in parentheses because it will never be applicable to all, but applicable to most, let's say most, right? So that it's a piece of content that I think that my friend would watch. Most of my friends are not business owners, right? Most of my friends are in corporate and things like this. So it's a piece that my best friend NECA would watch, who is a consultant at Bain, right? It's a piece that she would watch. It's a piece that my mom would watch. My mom lives in Michigan and just watches Girlfriends or whatever comes on OWN, right? It's a piece that she might find interesting. It's a piece that my little sister might find interesting. My little sister is a 17-year-old cool high schooler, right? So it's a piece she might find interesting. So I'm trying to make it's a piece my grandma might find interesting, right? The more I can make pieces like that, the more the algorithms will push me, the more attention I can amass, right? If I can attract and engage with a lot of different types of people, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever platform, they're going to push me to more and more people because they're like, dang, Casey, all the people that we show this to like it. So you're helping us out by keeping people on this app longer. So I'm going to show your piece of video to more people, right? And so I cast a wide net. The thing that a lot of y'all do, the thing that most people do, the thing that I used to do, right? And I still have the tendency to do it, is to cast a small net. And I get on the screen and talk about what I'm an expert in and what I like to talk about and all the things that my mom could care less about, NECA could care less. Only people within my same sphere, probably the people on this screen here, only y'all would care about it, right? But to get the attention, I can't make content just for y'all. I can do these types of things for y'all, right? But I can't make content just for y'all. So the number one thing was to build a wide net. We talked about Tabitha Brown earlier. Does anybody know this person that I have screenshotted above here? Does anybody know this person that I've screenshotted above here? The Shark Damon. The Shark Damon. The Shark Damon, you guys don't know who he is. Huge, successful guy, right? He's on a national television show for years. How long has Shark Tank been running? Like 10 years now, right? Don't quote me on that, but huge. We're not talking about somebody small, right? Huge. 1.4 million followers. And he's been in this game building a brand a long time. Like not only just building a long time, but he's had fame and notoriety a long time, right? He's been famous, especially in this modern age, for a long time, right? Tabitha Brown, 4.3 million followers. I don't need to re-articulate her whole story and all these different things, but I think we all understand she's had this huge growth since 2020, right? In 3 years. She has more followers than Damon. She has probably more followers than a lot of these business-esque people, but she has more followers. I picked Damon because they might have some, similar overlap in some things. But the things that I want you guys to get from this, or actually before I give it away, why do you think Tabitha Brown has more followers and then more attention, more reach than Damon? Why does Tabitha Brown have more attention, more reach, more influence, right, on the socials at least, than Damon? And can probably hit his certain revenue here soon. Let's be honest. Women, relatable. Sharon said it. Wide nets, wide nets, wide nets, wide net, right? Wide net. We all have the resources and the ability to cast wide nets. But most of us, again, I was saying this earlier, we do it backwards. We focus on what we're an expert in, instead of saying, okay, how do I build a wide net? How do I become a brand, right? And then I can do so many things with that brand, right? I thought, when I saw this the other day, I thought this was very interesting for me, a nerd like me that likes to look at people's influences and stuff. Tabitha Brown, huge, is only going to continue to get larger. Keith Lee, all these people, a lot more famous, a lot more, having a lot more attention than some of these business owners who, again, are trying to get the attention. It's not like these business owners aren't trying to get attention because they understand the game of attention right now, right? But these people are able to do it. So that's the first thing, wide net. And again, I want to go through this because I want you guys to be able to ask some questions, but wide net, focus on a wide net. Or at least that's what I did. Let me just reframe. I want this framing to be what I did. You can do what you want. I'm just telling you what I did. I casted a wide net. Let me be careful with my language. The other thing that I did, again, do what you want with this information. The other thing that I did was I leveraged other people's audiences and other people's stages, other people's audiences and other people's stages. I don't actually know if these are acronyms, but I love a good acronym. So OPA/OPS, right? In April, I made this post on Facebook. And I said, are you having a live event this year? I'll come and speak for free. I made another post like this, I think a week later, that said, do you have a podcast? I'll come on there for free. Like, sign me up. I'm doing any podcast. Anybody. I don't care if you have 2 followers. I don't care if you have 2 million followers, whatever. I don't care if you have 2 people at your live event. I don't care if you got 20,000 people at your live event. If you got one, let me know what the details are. I'll come speak for free. If you got a podcast, let me know what it is. I'll come speak for free. What do you guys think this helped me do? What do y'all think this helped me do? And again, I'm just breaking down all the things that I did. Again, you don't have to do these things. I just want to show you guys all the things that I did this year that helped me hit those numbers and all the other things that we just went through. I ended up going to speak at a number of events, right? I'm going to tell you some of the cons of doing this because I want to be transparent with y'all. But I ended up going to speak at a number of events. I had to just grab some quick photos. We did some podcasts, right? And some people would be like, especially like Monterey. Monterey is one of my good friends. And I'll be honest, at least in our friend group, we like to be very, very honest. You might be thinking in your head, oh, Casey, well, your friend had you on because that's your friend. And the way that we operate is not like that. Like, we all got brands to protect, right? And so we laugh about this privately, but if you're not good for the brand, like we can't have that. So those things are cool to do with friends, but they really come from the brand that I've been able to build, right? But doing these speaking events allowed me, podcasts and all this other stuff allowed me again to get in front of other people's audiences. And then for my own audience, you get so many clips, you get so many pictures, right? I'm also a person that loves interacting with people one-on-one. So as soon as I get off a stage, I try to pour as much value as I can into that audience, as I hope I'm doing for y'all here today. I try to pour as much as I can. I try to be entertaining, so that the host of the event is like, man, like Casey really got the crowd moving and they want me to come back, right? So I try to be a really entertaining and valuable speaker. But this has allowed me to build up authority online, right? Because now I have a lot more clips of me speaking on stages. It allows me to get in front of that audience in that room, and now they're consumed into my ecosystem, into my leads, right? And it allows me to just build great relationships with great people that put on these events, that have these podcasts, and they want me to keep coming back, right? It also makes for some cool photos and allows me to get better at my rapping skills, since now everybody wants me to rap when I come to their events. But we have fun, right? Again, we're on the second thing that I did this year. One, cast a wide net in all of my content, right? Second thing was I just put out a post, as you guys saw, a screenshot, who's having an event, and I went to them. Now, there are some things that I want you to keep in mind here, because again, I'm just sharing what worked for me, what I did. I know some of you guys might start going to do this. So there's just some things that I learned from this that I want y'all to keep in mind, because I want to be transparent. Number one is there are some cons with doing this, especially the live events, with travel. I am a person that, like, obviously I still am running a company. We got teams, we got things to do. And so traveling was difficult. Like, it just takes a lot out of you, right? And so just, be mindful of that. I am fortunate enough to have a great team. And so if something comes up, I'm able to just tell the team, like, hey guys, I got a conference, like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And we're able to make some things happen. But keep that in mind, like, especially with live events, you may, for some conferences, this did not happen to me, but for some conferences, they might not be able to afford your travel if you need to travel. So keep that in mind. I would say if you still need to buy the $200, $300 plane ticket, it is worth it. I fortunately, every conference that I spoke at, they at least covered all my travel and stuff. I didn't ask for a speaking fee. I just asked for them to cover my travel. So I want to be transparent with y'all there. But even if they didn't cover travel, I would think it was worth it to just hop on the plane ticket, because again, I know I'm using this selfishly for a brand awareness play as well. And if I only have to spend a plane ticket to get there, I'm gonna do it. You need to have something to offer too, right? Like, people aren't just going to let you speak on these are huge sales events for these people, especially a lot of the people that I spoke at, they're making millions of dollars from these events, right? And they need it to go well. And so you need to be honest with yourself. Like, do I have something to offer to this audience? Is this a good audience? Can I speak to them? And you need to have some proof that you can speak well. Because I had content, because I had long form, because I have spoken different things, people know that I can speak well, I can speak decently. They know that I can engage an audience. And so I was able to, just go out and speak on their events. This can have a hockey stick growth, meaning if you go speak at one event, there will be so many people in that crowd that want you to come speak at their event. So if only one or two people say, like, hey, can you come to my event? Do it well, because probably in that audience is more people that are going to want you to come to their event. But of the flip side is also true. If you do horrible on that stage, and this is not to have any fear, this is just say, keep this in mind and prep. If you do really bad, it's going to be harder and harder to get on more people's stages, because they're like, well, you weren't that engaging, or I was looking around the audience and everybody was kind of bored, whatever. So just keep that in mind. Two, start small and test new things small. So I have a couple speeches that I do, but I'm a type of person that likes to come up with new talks every time, especially because I talk a lot about social media, and social media changes every day. So whenever I am thinking about a new talk to do, I test it small. I'll either call my friends up and get them on FaceTime and they sit with me for an hour and listen to my talk. I'll test it in the hub, see what people like, right? And also what I'm doing right now, as I told you guys earlier, I'm testing even this right now to make something better for a talk that I want to do and the hub course and everything that I told you guys about. So test before you go out and speak. And the last thing that I do not do at all, I don't do it, but it's just a pro tip. When you're speaking, especially at these large conferences, focus more on the why and not the how. That is the tip that I get. It is just not in me, and I don't, maybe one day I'll get there. But I'm a very tactical person. It's just how my brain works. So most of my speeches are very like, here's how to do it, or here's what I did. Probably like this speech right now. But as a speaker, a lot of people like to be moved. A lot of people like to feel different things, and it's less tactical. So that's just some tips there. All right, before I get into the third one, again, 2 things that I've done this year. Wide net. We're thinking Tabitha Brown, not the shark. Now I'm blanking on his name, right? I'm going wide net because I know what I can do with that wide net. Does wide net take longer to build? Absolutely. Am I playing the long game? Absolutely. Does this mean I negate everything in my business? Absolutely not. Does this mean that I still put out maybe 30% of my content is still what I'm an expert in? Absolutely. But am I trying to cast and be intentional about building a wide net, casting a wide net? Yes, that was number 1. Number 2, leverage other people's stages, other people's audience. Have something to offer them. If you have something to offer them, then you can leverage those. Builds authority, helps you get more content, right? Lots of different things that you can do there. Make those 2 things make sense, y'all? Let me see. Let me see some ones in the chat, or let me see some bars. I need to see some bars before, or in the Q&A. Let me see a bars. Awesome. Awesome, y'all. Also, is this valuable? Has this been valuable so far? Again, this isn't for me, right? Like I want this to be valuable. I really care about getting information out. It is something that I just think about a lot. So I hope this has been valuable so far. But again, I did those 2 things. Number 3, I'm getting so passionate, my throat's getting dry. Number 3, y'all. Let me make sure my microphone didn't go out. All right, number 3 thing that I did is understood that there was money in long form. So Casey, you just said the wide net. For me, wide net is short form. Short form has the highest potential to cast. Like think of, I keep doing this because I'm thinking about like a fish net, right? Short form content, a reel, a TikTok, right? YouTube short, whatever you want to call it. That has the potential to go viral, get millions of views, and is my wide net. When I think about depth, right? So short form for width, long form for depth. And with the depth is where the money is. It's where the money is. I want y'all to focus on the wide net, because if you don't have the wide net, if you don't have the width, that depth will be very short. You're gonna be kiddie pooling. I don't want none of y'all to be kiddie pooling. I want everybody to have oceans of depth, right? And where you get that depth is through the width. I haven't even really doubled down on long form, and I'm about to show y'all this, right? Because I've been focused on building width, and I probably will be focused on width, probably priority for the next year and a half, because I need the width to get the depth. I'm not a kid. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not a kiddie pool. I'm not a kiddie pool type of person. Akila, I want you to copy that, put it on like a Google Doc or something, and then send it back when we open up Q&A. I want to answer that. But long form, right? Money is actually in the long form. And so when it comes to clients that we've signed, people that even come into the hub, different things like that, the sales is from the long form. Again, I'm probably focused 10% of my time on long form right now, but I realized it in 2023 and started doing a little bit more with it. So this is, again, the third thing that I've realized or reflected on that we started thinking about and doing. I have a YouTube channel. I don't really do much with it. Starting this year, we were at like 30 followers or 30 subs or something. I posted like 4 videos this year, I think. I am currently recording. That's why I wish I could see how many cameras are up right now. I'm currently recording a bunch of YouTubes. I'll tell you guys what the YouTube, or we'll talk about the 2024 plan, but one of the biggest things for 2024, because of width, right? I wouldn't do this in the reverse. I would not start with YouTube. I didn't think about YouTube at all. But one of the things that we're going to start doing is a video a week. A video a week is the goal there. On average, a video a week starting in 2024. And so I've been recording a lot more. But we've been playing around a little bit on YouTube. We have some people internally playing around with YouTube. But when it comes to video long form, I haven't really prioritized it because I'm prioritizing with 2024. I'll prioritize it more. But one piece of long form that I have been prioritizing, and I probably started prioritizing this around May, and this is actually where I make the most money, is long form written content. Most of my long form written content right now exists on Facebook, but we are going to be what is it called? Repurposing some of this long form to go on LinkedIn and Twitter threads and wherever we can write. But I actually like to write. I actually reflect a lot in the mornings. A lot of people are on live or able to come to a workshop at 5:30 in the morning when I'm up. So I actually find myself writing and reflecting a lot. And so even a couple days ago with this post, right, which probably led a lot of y'all over here, this post, I didn't click to see more because I wanted to share some things. But this post is a longer form Facebook post. And if you guys are friends with me on Facebook or follow me on Facebook, probably around once a week-ish, I will make a long post. Generally is giving some sort of value or, reflecting on some part of the business or doing something, but it's a long form written post. Those posts get me sales. Those posts and allow me to engage with my highest quality leads. And we've been implementing this across some of our clients as well that are open to it, and they've seen crazy results. But as you can even see with this one post on Facebook, and I have 4,000 Facebook friends or something like that, 230 comments, 230 comments, like almost one comment per like, right? Which the engagement is crazy off of that, right? And so these long form posts where I'm breaking down something or giving some sort of value, this had like a call to action to it, which it generally doesn't. But these long form posts have been great, and we've doubled down on those, and we'll be doubling down on those across platforms throughout the year. Why do I think these are working? Nobody's asked that. I don't think yet. Why do I think now for YouTube, would you do a wide net? So I would niche down a bit for YouTube. I would niche down a bit. So I won't be doing like vlogs or anything like that. Coach John, I'm going to niche down on YouTube. These Facebook posts work because a lot of people, video will always be, or not always, video right now is still king. Let me be conscious of my words. Video right now is still king, but a lot of people, because there's a huge supply of video, a lot of people don't get a huge supply of written, right? A lot of people are at work throughout the day. A lot of people, are on the go, so they can't listen with audio. And so these long form written posts are great. A lot of people also save these for later, right? And so that triggers the algorithm to push it to more people. So those have been cool. A small hack for long form, I didn't put it on here. Whenever I post some long form, and you guys have seen me do this if you're friends with me, I'll post like 3 or 4 comments in the comments and get people to engage further. When people see comments, they like to click comments, then they'll see as more of my comments. They'll read because the brain has already started reading, and then they start engaging even more. So small hack. I never told anybody that hack, but now that we're here, I want to tell you guys that. Long form, I post my own 3 or 4 comments in there. And they'll just be continued reflections. Think of it as like a Twitter thread, but it works really, really well on Facebook, and not a lot of people are doing it. Any questions so far with that? Again, 3 things that I've really done this year. Wide net, right? I forgot my second one. What was my second one? Somebody tell me. Wide net. What was the second thing that I said? Somebody tell me. Somebody remind me what the second thing was that I said. Awesome. I didn't forget. But Zizi got me. Use other people's audiences or other people's stages. Wide net, leverage other people's audience, other people's stages. Third thing, money's in the long form. But you can only get that money once you have the width. So really, y'all, focus on the width this year. Focus on the width this year. And then start thinking about, like, I'm not even prioritizing long form. I'm just doing it a little bit more. I'm still going to be prioritizing my width in my short form. Excuse me. Those are the 3 things: wide net, other people's audiences, other people's stages. Now let's get into this 4th thing. Are y'all getting some value from this too? Are you getting some value? I'm about to open it up for questions after this. But the 4th thing that we've done, and I've now put a name on it, but the Ivory Tower method. And this, I think, is the biggest hack. I don't like the word hack because in this life, nothing's easy. I hate that social media has made, especially folks in my generation, they want everything to come easy. They want everything to be a hack. Like, it's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of strategy. But because a lot of people don't like to work anymore, we're all at an advantage, even if we can just show up and work. So I don't like to say hack or anything like that. But the Ivory Tower method has been one of my biggest strategies. And the clients that are open to do it or willing to put in the work to do it or willing to get out of the scarcity mindset to do it have all won this year. So the Ivory Tower method, right? It came from this idea. Me being at these institutions and stuff, it would always be so funny. I'd be sitting at Northwestern, right? Northwestern, you have to pay like $100,000 a year to be there. If you don't know what Northwestern is, you probably don't, because they don't have a strong brand and they need to hire me to build their brand. But I was at Northwestern, right? And then a lot of our lectures would actually be on public YouTube. And in my head, I would be thinking, these lectures are on YouTube, and I'm sitting here. I wasn't personally paying for it, but I'm sitting here in this classroom, and somebody in wherever can just like watch this lecture, right? As I started growing up, I saw then like institutions, huge institutions like Harvard Business School. They have these YouTube channels where you can just go watch lectures from Harvard Business School, right? Where people are paying tons of money to go and different things. And so maybe one would start thinking to themselves, why would they do that? I definitely started thinking to myself, why would they do that? And I know we live in a capitalistic society. So I was like, all right, they got to be making some money off of this. How can we implement this into our own lives, into our own businesses? But what Harvard understands, what these institutions understand, is that people don't pay for the education. Like, you're not going to Harvard, most people, let me say, maybe there are some people, but most people aren't going to these places just for an education, right? They're just not going to learn some new books and do, like, they're going because of the brand attached to it and what that brand can do for you and open doors. To put this in more simpler terms, Harvard understands that their value is in the access, not in the information, right? They understand their value is in the access, not in the information. They also understand, as much as they give away this information and make it accessible, it actually builds their brand stronger. It allows more people to even trust and buy into them, right? That now their width is increasing and more people are applying, coming to Harvard, different things like this. And so as I started like realizing this and being in those environments, that's always been top of mind for me. And so I've always done that in our businesses, but now I try to help our clients do that in their businesses as well. But the Ivory Tower method is basically, in short, and there's a whole like write-up that we have internally for it. But in short, it's saying, give away your best information for free. Give away your best information for free. Give it away. I want you to go live. And I'm saying this to our clients, right? I want you to go live. I want you to do whatever. Give away your best information. Just give it away. Go speak about it. Go do lives. Do a webinar with it, right? Most of our clients will reserve their best information for their hiring clients or their masterminds and things like this. And I say, I want you to give away your best information for free, for $10, for $20, right? Like, I want you to give it away for free. Again, a lot of our clients still don't want to do that. But the ones that do, what starts happening, right? What starts happening is, before people even give them $1, they think like, wow, this person has given so much. I wonder what giving them $1 could look like. I wonder what more access to them could look like if they've given me all this for free. There's this thing that exists in the world called the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity. I do something for you, I give you something, right? And now you give me back something. Law of reciprocity. I've also shown you that I'm not afraid to give. I'm not afraid to pour, right? And now you come into the ecosystem. And so, to sum this up with, again, some big things that we did in 2023, but I've probably done this all my life because it's in me, not on me, as they say. But just give away the information. Like, give away the information, and the people will come and pay for the access. A quick recap of what we did in 2023, and then I want to tell you about a specific client. Wide net, other people's audiences, other people's stages. We're dabbling in long form while testing ideas. I should also say too, for Facebook, one of the biggest hacks, I'm glad I put it here, is whenever you guys see me even type on Facebook, whether it's short or long form, a lot of that is testing what I want to make content on. So I'll say something risque, like home ownership sucks, and I'll see how much engagement we get off that. Or I'll say something maybe longer and more detailed about personal branding. I'll see how much engagement we get off that. So I use Facebook a lot to even test before I sit down with all the cameras to see what I want to actually talk about. So just a heads up there. Wide net of other people's audiences, other people's stages, long form, and then the Ivory Tower method. Give away value, especially in this day and age. I'm telling you guys, after 2020, everybody has been scammed by a coach, by a business, by a product business, by a service business, right? Everybody's tired. A lot of people are actually even tired of learning, right? But a lot of people are tired of the traditional ways that things have been since 2020. And so if you can step into your niche and your audience, as whether you make coffee beans, right? And you can lead with value about how these coffee beans are great and how they help the brain or whatever, or whether you have a coaching program or service and you can show up and give value, you're going to be able to break through the noise a lot more easier than somebody that's just like, buy my coffee beans, or here's a free sample of my coffee beans so you can buy more, right? Or here, come to this thing that this conference that I'm hosting, right? Give away the value, and then law of reciprocity will treat you well. Boom. Last thing here, just so you know, it's not luck. Like, all right, Casey, well, you got a nice looking face. That's why it worked for you, right? That's why it worked for you, Casey. I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot harder for me to actually like get attention than for a lot of y'all. And this is not me trying to be on some, I need some sympathy or empathy, but I am a walking representation for a lot of things people don't like. Black, woman, queer. Like I have, and mask present, like I have all the dings against me. I don't really have much going for me. So when people tell me like, oh, well, I'm older, oh, well, I'm a woman, or oh, that, like people don't want to listen to me. Do you see what I'm a walking representation for so many things that people hate. And don't allow yourself to play small there. Understand that if I can do it and get attention and get people to buy into me, so can you. We built this follower from 0 to 300,000 followers in 8 months. We started working with her in February. So what is that? I guess it's like 9, or we started working with her in February. First post went out in March. So whatever that is, I'm probably did my math wrong. So let's say 10 months, right? From 0 to 300,000 followers in a couple months. And this is what we did. If you guys want to know who this client is, again, I don't talk a lot about our clients, but her name is Dr. Tracy Lynn. Does anybody know Dr. Tracy Lynn, or seen Dr. Tracy Lynn, or follow Dr. Tracy Lynn? If you don't, an OG when it comes to business, OG. Like that's all I have to say. I won't get too deep into her, but she's awesome, and we've been working with her since February. Things that we've done, same thing that we've done, same things that we've done with her is the same things that I'm telling you, right? And again, I wanted to show this because these clients pay us a lot to come execute for them, right? And the reason why I need to be in the field is because I need to make sure that we're doing the things right by our clients. So I use a lot of my profiles and stuff to test, but still with her, cast a wide net. You will probably find 0 videos specifically breaking down her business and her expertise and how she sold the exact specifics of anything. You'll find 0 pieces of content with that. We also focus short form, wide. She is a long form speaker. If you ever get the chance to hear her speak live, she's a great speaker, and she is a long form speaker. She is like a pastor at heart, right? She's a long form speaker, but we've kept her short form, and we've prioritized short form because we know the width, right? We've also leveraged other people's stages. I wanted to put this on because there is ways to leverage other people's stages without flying around. So with her, she's like, Casey, I'm not about to be flying around doing all this stuff, right? So we've leveraged other people's stages through Instagram lives. And so we've actually done a lot of Instagram lives with other collaborators that have larger brands or followers and stuff like that. And once we reach out to them, they're like, oh my God, yes, I would love to interview her on Instagram Live, right? And so we've done that. I have some connects. One of my colleagues has a YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. We coordinated something, and he actually went out and did like a home tour with her and posted it. So we've leveraged other people's stages through different things, again, mostly through Instagram Lives because of her, her capabilities. Again, I wanted to share this because there's lots of different ways that you can do it. The other way is just how I did it. It's just how I did it. We've done the Ivory Tower method with her. She shares anything. If you follow her, I know some of you all have followed her. She shares about her IRS struggles, her business struggles, all the things. And then the best part that I think a lot of people care about, she doesn't really care about this, but I know a lot of people care about this, is that we've done all this organically. And even this year, I think 4 months ago, she launched something that was a 6-figure launch. That will be a 7-figure business line for her by the end of next year. And Shannon is in here. Shannon, say if I'm buffing or not, but this thing that we were able to launch for her all organically, and we only have posted about it in her stories. So we don't even really make posts about it. Had a 6-figure launch 3 months ago. It's probably doing at least mid 5 figures a month right now. But by next year, this time, mark my words, it will be a 7-figure business and profit line. Again, all just through her brand. She's also getting a lot more speaking event, a lot of different things, right? All through the brand and the recognition and the fun that we're having over there. So that was that. Some honest truths that I need to tell you guys, and then please, please, please paste in your questions as I'm going through this. Some honest truths. I went about 50% as hard as I could have this year. Like I'm telling you guys all of the different things that we did. But I'll be honest with you, I know myself, and I'm not saying that I went 50% as hard. Like there were days I didn't make content. There were weeks that I didn't make content. I was focused a lot on our clients and their content, right? So I went 50% as hard as I could have. So that number that we saw earlier, the 1.4 million, whatever, that I would argue that at least could have been 2.5 million if I would have went at least 80% as hard as I know I could have. Next year though, I got you. 2024 is all about more for me, more. Another honest truth. I'm not a person that's gonna tell you, oh, it's so easy. This is work. When I'm dialed in, when I'm really on top of my game, about 60% of my time is spent on content. Again, understand we got clients, we have a team of 30, we have a lot of different things going on. And I dedicate around 60% of my time on content because I know the entire ecosystem works because I'm creating. And I know that I'm going to protect our team. I'm going to be able to make payroll and keep them in positions for a long time because I'm playing a long game, right? And so I have to focus a lot on content. You also need to be willing to commit for at least 3 years. When we look at somebody like Tabitha Brown, she's been in the game for 15 years. Keith Lee has been creating for 4 years, right? And so I average it out to say like 2 or 3 years, but it might take longer. You need to understand that just because you post the content for a month, it's not going to work. I mean, it's going to work. You need to understand that, right? You need to say, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to build a brand for the next 3 years. If you can show up consistently and you go for 3 years and you say, Casey, I tried it for 3 years consistently, it didn't work, I'll be like, all right, cool. If you say, Casey, I tried it for a month, you got, some of you have interacted with me, I'll be like, come on, like, what are you talking about, right? 15 years, Tabitha Brown. I personally, if somebody told me, Casey, put in 15 years, you'll end up like Tabitha Brown and have this brand that you can live with for the rest of your life, perfect, I'm gonna do it. I don't know about y'all, but I would work 15 years to do that. iPhones and native content works better than non-native content. Again, just something I want to tell you guys, even for our clients, we come on with huge camera. I have a huge camera right here. Whoa. I don't know if you guys can see it. One of the cameras right here. We come in with huge cameras. I got 6 of them up here. We come in with huge cameras and do all this stuff. When we shoot content or ask the client to shoot with this, it will always perform better. We like to have that mix. Our clients still like to have the professional content, but I'm telling y'all right now, use this. It works better. And like I said, it's a lot harder for me to get people to buy into me, trust me, like me on the internet. I get random weird comments all the time. We've had hate comments. We've had death threats. All these weird things have happened to me since growing, and I don't even have that many followers. But understand that you can do it. You can show up. There's room for us all to win. 2024 game plan for me, I've said this a lot, or I mentioned this a lot. We're doubling down on short form. 50% is going to be teaching, 50% wide net. 50% teaching just because I want to do more sessions like these, and it's not for an intention play. If it was an intention play, this will look like an 80-20 split. But I selfishly, right now where I'm at in business, I love to do the things I like to do, and this is something I like to do. So 50% of my content is going to be teaching, 50% wide net. We're launching a podcast. I am not spending any money on launching this podcast. It's going to be all on Zoom. I'm just going to interview people. We're going to use some of that Zoom content for content. I'm only going to do 4 speaking events this year. Travel was just really hard on me last year. I'm going to do 10 in-person podcasts and unlimited virtual podcasts. I'm going to do the Ivory Tower method through YouTube and think about long form. And the top platforms that I'm going to be really focused on and getting better with, not to say I won't be on the other platforms, but TikTok and YouTube are my 2 big platforms for this year. With that, everybody, it's question time. Let me go through some of these questions really quick. How do you overcome the overwhelm with content? Tell me more about what you mean. I don't think about it. I get tired creating content, but I know that I have a lot of experience to share. And I tell myself, Casey, if you are keeping all these experiences and not sharing them, you are being really, really selfish right now. And so that gets me out of bed every day to say, how selfish am I if I just sit here and not create and not give away something that I know or tell a story about something that I know, right? Also, Shannon, can you drop in the hub? The hub, again, is open for 10 people if you guys want to join. I do not talk publicly about the hub, but in the hub, and I'm just saying this right now, again, at the end here for some of y'all, in the hub, I am making a whole course for this information. We're going to be doing a whole guide. Most of our conversations this year are going to be working with our hub members to get them all this information and get them in place. To do that, we have a great team in the hub. And yeah, this will be our last opening for 2023. You cannot find that link publicly. And I don't open it up. I've opened up the hub. I was supposed to open it every month, but I've opened up the hub only 8 times this year. I think we counted. For reasons. I like the group that we're building over there. I don't need it. Again, I don't make any money in the hub. And so when I show up in there, I like to be around people I like to be around. But if you guys want to join, you guys have been great. I like that it's a small group of us. So if you guys want to join the hub, there's 10 people that can get in before we close it up for 2023. All right, let's get into some of these questions. What is your posting content looks like at any given time? I don't care about time that I post. I post content at any time. If it's a good piece of content, it's gonna perform no matter what the time is. And again, this is not only on my accounts. We post almost 1,000 reels. Let me stop there. We post 1,000 reels a month. It does not matter what time it goes out. Trust me on that. Does you or your team manage her social or just create all of her content? We do all the above, Jasmine. So we do all the above. She's now like family now. So we work very, very closely together with her, and we manage the whole thing. We do not do that for any other client. I would like to make that clear. The level at which we work with her is something that I'll probably never work with at that level with anyone else. It's just such a good synergy. It's just really good. It's a lot of different things that work together. And so we work together across her entire, anything that you see with her, we work on that. How do you revive an audience after you have ghosted the audience for 2024? For 2023, excuse me, start posting things of value to that audience. Value can be something like tactically educational, like this workshop, or it can be something entertaining. Entertainment is value, especially in this day and age when everybody's stressed out. You got Christmas coming, bills need to be paid. People are just trying to be entertained right now and laugh. If I was actually like good at comedy or people found me funny, like I got dad jokes, I don't got real jokes, but if I could entertain people, I would actually be leaning into that even more than like business, and that's on record. But people want to be entertained right now, so you can do something like that. The second thing is to this question around how I revive the audience, a quick hack. Again, I put this in quotes because I don't have another adjective right now. A quick hack is to start a new page, start a fresh new page, especially on TikTok and Instagram. It doesn't matter, especially on TikTok. Start a new page because those algorithms will start favoring you and start pushing you out to more people. We've grown new pages faster than old pages. Just a FYI there. Start posting in your comments too. Akila, I see you. What kind of content would you consider wide net compared to other content that you see people doing? Any examples? So wide net content, right? Are me posting, let me see. Wide net content is me talking about anything that falls into these categories. Your body, your bank, or your boo is what I heard somebody say, and I like that. I used to say anything related to wealth, health, or love, right? So that's wide net content. So if I sit here talking about, so like even yesterday, I posted a reel about personal branding. That's actually niche, but listen to how I start that video. Actually, let me bring this up and play it for y'all. Because you'll see how even with some of my niche content, I will still take it more wide net. I will still take it more wide net through this hack. Hack. Somebody gotta give me a better word because I hate using the word hack, but we move. All right, let me show you guys this. Share my sound. All right, so yesterday I posted a reel that I could have bought 2 Rolls Royces last year, but instead I spent the money on this. Honestly, one of my biggest business mistakes. Understand that branding, marketing, and sales are 3 entirely different functions, with branding having the biggest impact on the long-term game. But because I was just focused on sales, I spent around $500,000 on Facebook ads in 1 year. Now it did end up generating around $1 million for my business, but as you can imagine, the profit margins were slim. Now it was a risky play, going from 500 I won't play the whole thing for you guys. If you care to watch it, you can watch that. But you can see in the beginning of that, I said I could have bought 2 Rolls Royces this year. And so that was just a hack for me to try to make this a little bit more wide net, right? That would probably fall into the category of wealth, right? Things that you could do with your money. I also am very clear with like how much I spend and how much I make. People are nosy. People love to hear those numbers. And we also live in a world and day and age where people want you to be honest about your numbers and your money. Like, and I'm very comfortable with doing that. So those are some ways that I still try to make it wide net, even if it is niched down. Let me scroll up. And y'all, charge it to my head, not my heart, if I miss your questions. But can you build a personal brand and product brand at the same time? Absolutely. Again, example, Tabitha Brown, right? Tabitha Brown has hair care company. Like maybe y'all even know all the businesses she has. She has a hair care company. She has seasoning, a powdered seasoning thing. She has a fashion brand now in Target, right? And so again, number one is build the personal brand. With the personal brand, you can build any business and brand of that business that you want. What's the breakdown of your wide net content? Are you getting a bit personal? Yep. So I hope that question answered. Breakdown right now is probably an 80-20 split. Breakdown into 2024 is going to be more of a 50-50 split. And really that other 50% is coming because I'm going to be doubling down a little bit on long form. Again, I told you guys my reason why with long form, but don't get into long form yet if you don't have the width. I would use a year and a half to prioritize short form and width, and then start doing long form. Nobody's going to watch your 20-minute videos if they don't know who you are yet, right? And so as you build up more and more brand, more and more people are going to watch. Tabitha Brown. How many of us would just watch her and her husband sit around a table and talk if we didn't know who she was? Nobody would care about that stuff. But because we now know who she is, now we engage with some of the longer form stuff with her and her daughter and her husband. If it just started like that, we wouldn't care, right? So that's my thesis there with long form. Double down on short form first, build your audience, build some more attention, and then do long form. To be clear, is it 1,000 per month plus long form, or is it the same number? We post 1,000 short form videos each month. We post 1,000 short form videos each month. What does your recording schedule look like? I record short form videos around twice a month. I'll sit down again with this camera or one of these other cameras that I have here. I'll show you guys. So you know, I'm talking, I use this camera for on the go, and then it's another camera out of reach that I can't grab. But I'll use a camera like that, and I'll sit down and do some short form. What you just saw was a time when I did that. So I do that twice a month. Generally in those sessions, I'll record 15 videos. So that'll be 30 of those talking head videos. But then while I'm on the go, I'm always creating on my phone. So that doesn't have a set schedule for it. Building our brand is more generalized. What types of things do you post when you want to throw long net? Long net depth. So me doing a workshop about personal brand would be depth, right? When I want to do a wide net, I would talk about me taking my mom to South Africa first class, right? That was one of my larger videos this year. And I started by saying I spent $20,000 to take my mom to South Africa or something like that. I started it with the number. And I'm not actually comfortable saying that number, and it's actually a smaller number than probably we actually spent. But I knew that people, or I knew how to get the attention was to say those numbers and things like that, right? You also, for me, it was a big reframe. I should say this with doing videos like that. I always hate those I thought I hated those videos because it's like braggadocious, right? And that's just not my vibe. But anytime I post videos like that, people are just in the comments like, I can't wait to be able to do this for my mom, or I'm so excited y'all were able to do this, right? And so I share this to y'all to say, especially when you get into the headspace I was in, my team had to show me like, well, Casey, you know your heart, like you know who you are. And whenever I post those videos now, people get so inspired by them, and that's exactly what I want to do on the internet, right? And the exact impact that I want to make. So that's I love dad jokes. Same, and that's why I stick with them. But I don't know if the internet loves them yet. I don't know if the internet loves them. Ivory Tower method is give away your best content for free. Harvard Business School posts all of their lectures, so there's no reason why we can't give away our best value for free. People pay for access. People pay for access. I pay for access. Whenever I want a coach or whatever, I'm not really paying them necessarily for their information. I'm paying them for access. A lot of my coaches that I spend the most money on, mentorships, whatever, I pay for that just so I can call them up, shoot them a quick text, and interact with them for 2 minutes. We have a mentor that is super established in business, older person, and we've paid them almost 6 figures, and I've probably talked to him about 12 minutes total. 12 minutes, most valuable 12 minutes of my life, right? But access, I pay for access where I can say, hey, this is the problem that I'm having. They can shoot me over a quick voice note and we go, right? People pay for access. Shannon saying the hub. Oh, y'all are getting in the hub, right? Do you have to write a captivating title? For titles, I care mostly about YouTube. YouTube, I care about the titles. Nowhere else do I care about titles or captions. We write them because our clients care about them, but captions and stuff, hashtags don't really matter. On YouTube, if you post a YouTube short, you want to title that YouTube short as a question somebody might ask. So if I posted that personal brand video that I just showed you guys on YouTube, I might say how I lost $500,000 in 1 year. Like that might be the title of it, right? So just a quick hack: whenever you're posting your YouTube shorts, you want it to be a question that somebody might ask that your video will answer. It helps the SEO and it helps push you on YouTube shorts. How long should short form be? Under 60 seconds. You have to find though how long you can keep somebody. A lot of these short form platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and I heard YouTube, they're launching longer reels, right? TikTok is experimenting right now with, you can have up to a 10-minute long reel. They said by 2024, it'll be 30 minutes long. So if you can actually keep somebody engaged for 30 minutes, that's the best way. The longer you can keep somebody engaged, the better. Most of us don't have that skill set yet though, to keep somebody engaged for longer than a minute. It takes a lot of skill to do that. So I would test and try with at least a minute and building that muscle to do at least a minute. When I say a minute, do 59 seconds so you can repurpose it on every platform. Can your short form be repurposed to long form? Not really. Not really, because long form needs to go into depth, but your long form can be repurposed into short form. And so me, if I did a podcast interview, right, that may be an hour and a half, but I could get probably like 6 or 7 short form clips out of that. Do you script your content? I do, just because probably y'all saw how my brain works sometimes. I can get off topic. So whenever I'm sitting down with these cameras, I'll have a script and I will script. But if I'm just on my phone, I won't really script and I'll put the story together later. I will say the biggest hack too for these, for creating, have some good lighting and have some good audio. I'm looking around because I want to show you guys the best microphone I use for this. Best microphone, if you want better audio for your iPhone, is those cheap wired headphones with the little thing, like the cheap $20 headphones that Apple used to give you with your cell phone. Trust me, I've spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on microphone. That's one of the best microphones. Hub. Welcome to the Hub fam. For the 1,000 videos, are you repeating? Yep. So if we get a video viral is different for everybody. How we define viral, if you've never had a video hit 100K, that's viral for you. If you never had a video hit 500K, that's viral for you. If you've never had a hit 1 million, that's viral for you. So it depends when we work with our clients. But whenever we get a video viral, we'll post it every 45 to 60 days. Every 45 to 60 days. Great question. I struggle with consistency in creating content. Can you talk about how you or your team so when it comes to my personal content, I also want to be clear here. I do that. We have a team and our team works with our clients, but when it comes to my personal content, that is all me. So any edit, and I always make the joke that says, if you want to know it's me, it's going to be a spelling error in there. I'm going to have a spelling error. I'm trying to get better with it, but it's going to be an error. But all of my personal content is me. Casey, why are you taking all the time to make all your personal content if you have a whole team that could do this for you? Well, the reason why I do it is because I'm trying to stay in the field, right? I love the hub and I need to be able to relate to everybody else in the field. So I stay in the field. I also want to keep my team better. And so I know if I'm in the field testing and trying new stuff, I can now teach them different things to do better for our clients. So anything you usually see from me is me writing it out, me scripting it out, me editing it out. I use CapCut to edit just like everybody else. So all that is me. All that is me. How do I stay consistent with it though? There is no hack for this. The way I stay consistent with it is thinking about who I want to be in the next 10 years. I don't want to look back on my life in 10 years and be like, dang, Tabitha Brown did it. Dang, Keith Lee did it. I don't want to just keep looking up and seeing all these other people doing it. I want to do it. Or I at least want to know I tried. I gave it my best. So that helps me be consistent. My consistency sometimes looks like me waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and recording content because I have a busy day, right? Sometimes it's just that. I'm not usually a late person, so I have to get up early, but sometimes it's that. My consistency looks like my family is coming here for Christmas because I don't really get a break and I need to record content. So everybody's flying down here to celebrate Christmas and I no longer go home, right? So different things that I have to do, but I just don't want to look back on my life in 10 years and be like, dang, I see it happening for other people. I know in my heart like what's going on and I didn't even try. I didn't even give it a good shot. I don't have no like sexy hack for y'all. That's what gets me out of bed and keeps me making these videos. TikTok keeps pushing me to do longer videos. So I'm part of a TikTok program where we meet with their leadership once a month. I think the hub knows this. I posted about it in the hub. But once a month, I meet with TikTok leaders, the engineers, all the things that are TikTok related. And the biggest thing, and I posted this in the hub during our last meeting, but the biggest thing that they are focused on right now is getting more creators to create long form videos, longer than a minute videos. Why do they want to do that? Because if they can keep somebody watching on their app for 60 seconds or 65 seconds or 90 seconds, right? They can charge more for ads. The more people that spend time on their app, the more ad charges they can do. And so they're trying to get people to create. And so if you can build that skill to create long form videos, longer than a minute, do it. Most of us can't though. And so I want you guys to focus first on saying, how do I keep somebody engaged for 30 seconds? All right, now I know how to do 30 seconds. How do I do 45 seconds? Now, how do I do 60 seconds? Now, how do I do 90 seconds? Right? Gaining followers versus customers. Is this a numbers game or increasing? So it's an attention game. Shannon, thanks for dropping these in. We're playing an attention game. We're not playing a customers game. I want you guys to understand that. Tabitha Brown, the reason she was able to blow up is because she's playing just an attention game. She's just on the internet, giving, cooking, being her. She had nothing to sell, right? And those are the types of people that we buy into. Now, if she did sell us something, we would all buy it. We would love it. We do buy it. She can't even keep stock in Target, right? And so I want you guys to understand and think, because a lot of people can't do this, sales secondary. And it's so hard to think about it. Trust me, when your bank account is like struggling, trust me. But please understand that the way to win is to play the attention game. Just say like, how can I give some value? How can I show up? And that's going to pay off in the long term. Now, what you can do, again, I say this in the hub all the time, 20% of our focus and our content is on selling. Cause again, I got bills to pay. I don't know about y'all, but I got bills to pay. So 20% of my content is around like selling and getting people in the door. Like I showed y'all those long form Facebook posts, stuff like that. But my number one focus is like, how do I stay in this game a long time and how do I build a brand? And that's the game of attention. Who is the first person we should hire in our business? Maybe a VA, help you with some admin tasks. You can read this book called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. My opinion is always, though, the last person you should hire is marketing. The last person you should hire is someone there. I always believe that the founder can speak more and do more within the business. Now, you might hire some people to edit to help you with ideas or different things like that. But this is coming again from a marketing agency owner. I only make money when people hire me for marketing, right? That's how I make my money. And I still believe that the last person you should hire is marketing. I'm always be transparent, right? Because of your hub membership value and monthly challenges, I have 4 millions, over 1 million views each in a 2-week period. What? I didn't even know this. Well, can you please post this in the hub so I can actually I need to go through the rest of these questions, but can you post this in the hub so I can, holy cow, can you post this in the hub group so I can celebrate you? That's great. I thought that was a question. Wow, that's awesome. Congrats. Can you speak about WIP again? How does it relate to us building a brand? Man, I also need to say, all you and your team, it's you. I will never take credit for that because there are so many people that we give the same value to, right? And it's about taking action. So I won't take any credit for that. All we do is get in the field and teach and share, and you take action. That's all on you. I love that. Can you speak about with and how does it relate to us building a brand? With, right? With is long form. With is I'm just pushing out a fishnet and I'm getting attention. Keith Lee. Let's just use, I've been using Tabitha Brown a lot. Keith Lee. What with, right? He makes content that I watch, that my mom knows about, that my grandma probably sees on the news or something. She doesn't have the apps, but I'm sure they're showing Keith Lee on the news or something, right? He's making wide form content, wide content. And because of that, he's getting in front of the eyeballs of more and more people. More and more people now know him, which means he's building a stronger and stronger brand every day. He's getting more attention every day, right? And so that's what that width is. If he just started off with like long form food reviews and nobody knew who he was, he wouldn't have had that hockey stick growth. Because he had these short form videos and people were engaged with it and watching it, he had that hockey stick growth, and people of all sorts of folks were watching it and engaged with it, right? And so now, because he has this brand, do y'all know that his first video went viral 1 year ago? Like November 7th, 2022. November 7th, 2022, his first video went viral. Again, he had been posting and he was posting a lot of fighting content, different things, but he had been posting for about 3 years. 3 years. His first video went viral 3 years into the game. His first video goes viral 3 years into the game. Just in 1 year, now he's amassed all this attention. He has $1 million brand partnerships with Hyundai, different things like that. But understand what can happen. Understand what can happen for that. I love that. Was about cookies. Do y'all remember Keith Lee in the little baby chair and everything? 1 year. All this has happened after the 1 year viral video, right? That's crazy. Do you suggest doing organic content and running ads? So yes, make okay. So that's absolutely what we'll start doing. I didn't know if I put this on my 2024. We'll probably start running ads again towards the middle of 2024. I have no rush to run them, but we might start, and I'll keep everybody in the hub updated on if and why we do that. But the best play that I like to do, again, I love ads. I love ads. We make money off of running ads. The best play that I like is organic and brand with the ads, right? It just hyper accelerates everything. And so, yes, I do. Imagine if Tabitha Brown, Beyonce runs ads, y'all. Beyonce runs ads. Michelle Obama runs ads whenever they have book launches, right? Those people have brand and then they run ads because it just all works together. So yes, I want y'all to build brands. That should be the number one focus. And then we layer on some ads on top of that. Now people call it the Keith Lee effect. Yeah. Again, somebody asked me again, how do you stay consistent? I see people like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm getting in this game. I'm going to stay in, right? Like I deserve to, yeah, I had this whole spiel in the hub. I won't get back on my soapbox today, but it's urgent. It's urgent. It's urgent. All right, guys, I'm gonna answer one more question. I think we might be capped at the hub too. Shannon, if you want to drop the link one more time for the hub, I believe I just saw we're capped for that. So I'll see you guys all in the hub. Again, hub folks, I am using this to make a course and guide for y'all. So it's gonna be literally a step-by-step course for y'all. I'm gonna make the guide for you guys as well over this break. I will be traveling a bit for the holidays, and so I'm going to get that done while I'm traveling. Boom, boom, boom. One more question I'm going to answer. I saw a lot of people charging $7 for their offers. How did you choose your pricing? I'm not sure what pricing you're talking about. So if you're talking about the hub, that's just based purely off of team. So any hub fam, you guys can tell them like we have amazing team members in there. Those people require salaries, right? Those people also create a lot of resources and guides and stuff. So that all costs money. And I don't take any profit from the hub, or there is no profit from the hub. We spend it all on our team. So that's kind of just how we make our pricing based on like what the needs are for the hub. But if you want to ask something, I wouldn't say though to the whole $7 thing or pricing in general to go off of what you see other people doing. Like that's never a way to run any business. That's never a way to do anything. Charge whatever value you charge. A lot of people charge those $7 for different webinars or low ticket things because they're trying to get higher quality leads. They're trying to get higher quality leads. But I also just showed you, if you build a brand like we have been trying to do this year, you can get 700 leads for free and they're a lot higher quality. So there's lots of different ways to get high quality leads, but that's a reason people charge for different things just so they can get higher quality leads than somebody that would come for free. Boom, boom, boom. Also, I see a couple of questions. I am a lot over time. So if you guys are in the hub, you guys know, just post your questions in Facebook. I will get to those questions today. So post your questions that you still have in Facebook. I will send everybody this recording. Shannon, if you want to drop the hub one more time, if you guys, again, want to get in the hub, this is the last time to get in before 2023. We are also raising the price for 2024 because we're going crazy in there for 2024. Like, we're going crazy in there for 2024. With that, everybody, thank you guys for your time. Apologies for all of the technical issues and errors. Can you guys give me some feedback before you go? Ones in the chat, bars, whatever. Was this a good use of time? Did you guys get some value from tonight or this morning, this afternoon? Give me some quick feedback before y'all go. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask for, y'all. I hope you guys feel like I gave some good value, that I poured into you guys. This is important for me. So cool. All right, with that, everybody, I hope you have a great Saturday. My voice is a little gone, but I love doing this selfishly. So thank y'all for just being here, for, joining me on this tonight. And I hope it was a good use of y'all's time. With that, everybody, you know where to find me. If you ever have questions, always reach out, DM me. If you're in the hub, post your questions. We know we got you. And I wish you guys all a happy holidays and a good rest of your year. Peace.